Okay, good to be with you.
Well, here's one more number from CMAG to factor in. The Obama campaign has so far outspent the Romney campaign on television ads by at least 3-to-1 overall. Just some more context for their insisting that they've spent more money on positive ads than Romney has. Let's talk raw politics now. CNN political contributor and former White House press secretary for George W. Bush, Ari Fleischer, joins me by the phone. CNN political contributor Paul Begala, who's also advising a pro-Obama super PAC, joins me as well. So, Paul, you advise the super PAC, which has run a lot of these negative ads many thousands of times. Negative campaigning, you're more than okay with it.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. The ads that the PAC that I advise, which is Priorities USA Action, you can see them for yourself, prioritiesUSAAction.org. They have featured the most powerful ads and the ones we've run the most of. The real words of real people that Mitt Romney laid off. He came and took over these companies. He loaded them up with debt. In some cases, he bankrupted them, paid himself millions, and canceled the health benefits. We just sent cameras to places like Marion, Indiana, to Kansas City, and we filmed these people. And they're heartbreaking stories. The LA Times, Los Angeles Times, Doyle McManus, a terrific journalist, called our ad the most effective Democratic ad this year.
So can the president say that there's been a slew of positive ads?
Yeah, I don't know how many is in a slew. I thought you nailed Axe pretty well on that. My view is this. Like, first off, my job, I think, in this pro-Obama super PAC is simply to define Romney. If we run a single positive ad, I'll be disappointed. I'm hoping to go over 100%. Anderson, we might run one more negative ad after the election.
You just said if you run a single positive ad, you will be disappointed.
Very, deeply. And as I say, well, I'll try to save enough money to run one more after the election, so that it'll be 101%. Here's why. People already know a lot about the president. They don't know much about Mitt Romney. They know that President Obama killed Osama bin Laden. They don't know that Mitt Romney killed thousands of jobs all across America. I want to tell that piece of the story, and I think you guys ought to keep us honest. I think the press ought to fact-check our ads. But when we take real people, put them on camera, and tell their stories about what happened to their lives under Mitt Romney's economic policies, it's pretty powerful stuff.
Ari, when you look at the evidence over the last few months, these attacks on Bain, focus in swing states, do you think they're working?
No, because if they were working, Mitt Romney wouldn't have cut the gap against Barack Obama. So coming out of the primaries, Mitt Romney was down by 5, 6, 7 points in most of the average of the polls. And right now, he's running virtually neck and neck. So the president not only has an economic record he can't defend, he's not really running a very good campaign. He has spent almost $100 million on ads, and the amount's roughly in this. But he's spent a lot of money on ads. He's just spent almost entirely negative ads against Mitt Romney. And yet Mitt Romney is running neck and neck. He's cut the gap. The reason is, in a cycle like this, 2012, where voters are so focused on who can fix the economy, who can create jobs, who can reduce the deficit and the debts, they know the president can't. He's had 4 years to do it, and he hasn't been able to, even with an overwhelmingly almost Watergate-sized Democratic Congress for his first 2 years. And so this is one of those change elections. And the change this cycle is Mitt Romney. I also want to say that the Obama campaign again today repeated the felony charge. This is Barack Obama's own birther movement against Mitt Romney.
What do you mean by that?
I defended President Obama against the whole birther allegations that he was illegitimate, that he committed a crime by not being born here and running for president. And now they're doing the same thing that they said was despicable against Mitt Romney. Stephanie Cutler repeated that charge today in an interview with Wolf Blitzer. That's the shame of this race. The 2012 Obama would not recognize the 2008 Obama.
Paul, is this the Obama birther movement, as Ari just said?
No, come on. I mean, there's some people who think that the campaign got a little...
felony?
Just a second, Ari. There's some people that maybe think they got out over their ski tips a little too far on this, but all they actually said, if you look what they said, is Mr. Romney in Bain Capital filed Securities Exchange Commission documents that swore under oath that he was the president, CEO, chairman, and sole owner of the company. Then, in 2011, Romney signed a personal financial disclosure form, also under pain of perjury, that said he had nothing to do with Bain Capital during the same time that the other sworn document said that he was CEO and president and chairman. So one of those two documents seems to me inarguably to be wrong. And I think that that's probably where the argument should be. I don't think Mitt Romney is a felon. I don't think that at all. But actually, I think both those documents may well be in error. In other words, I don't think he was really running Bain Capital every single day while he was running the Olympics, but I also don't think he was completely, wholly, and totally divorced from it, and he swore both. That's the problem he's got.
Ari, his attorney had said that he had returned multiple times to Massachusetts to attend the board meetings and the like.
That doesn't mean he's running it or making the investment decision. you know, when I went to the White House and the Paul went to the White House, we both have commissions, signed commissions that gave us our White House jobs. They were signed not by the President, but by the Secretary of State. We didn't work for the Secretary of State. Secretary of State wasn't our boss, but he signed our commission.
So did the President. All right, that's
anybody who has to deal with government has lawyers to advise them how to comply with laws that actually don't have a whole lot of relevance to what you might have to do in the private sector or even the public sector. Mitt Romney had to sign as the CEO, as the owner of the company, because he owned the shares. The way it works is he didn't make the decisions because he indeed had left, even if he owned the shares. That's the difference. You know, Anderson, what it really comes down to, you remember before there was an official with the Environmental Protection Agency who got fired because he spoke out and he said that their view is you take 3 people and you crucify the first 3 people in the business community that you come across, and nobody else, you charge them with criminal charges, you in effect crucify them, was his words, and then nobody else will even think about messing with you. That's the type of campaign the Obama campaign wants to run against Mitt Romney. These are the tactics they're employing. 2008, post-partisan, we need to rise above Barack Obama. He's given up looking for work like everybody else in this economy. This is such a different candidate in 2012. He's just clinging to his job, and I don't think it's going to work.
Ari, Paul, do you think this is a different candidate?
Yes, this is a different election. Absolutely. But, you know, it amuses me, I have to say. I'm an older man. I'm 51. When I was a kid, conservatives were tough. It was John Wayne and Ronald Reagan, and everybody said liberals were wimp. It was sort of my side. It was like Alan Alda and Mike Dukakis. And I have to say, I'm heartened if we've gone from toothless in Ari's eyes to ruthless. I'd rather be tough. These are tough times. And this is Romney's record. His sole calling card for the presidency is, I was a businessman, I was a CEO. And so we are taking a look at that record, and it is very good in some ways, but appalling in other ways. Right. And Romney can't answer that. He can't defend the things he did, and that's his problem.
We got to leave there. Paul Begala, Ari Fleischer, guys, thank you very much. Let us know what you think.